Hello, and on behalf of the College of Arts and Sciences at The Ohio State University, welcome to this academic overview. My name is Ben Fortman, and I work with the College of Arts and Sciences, and I'm also the Humanities Scholars Program Manager with Honors and Scholars. Today, we'll be going through some information about the humanities and opportunities for students to major at The Ohio State University. The humanities fall into the College of Arts and Sciences. It's the largest college at the university, quite broad. There are actually three divisions within the college. We have the Arts and Humanities Division, the Natural Mathematical Sciences Division, and the Social and Behavioral Sciences Division. When it comes to the college, again, quite broad. You can see the variety of majors that are available, the numbers when it comes to number of students. For students, this information is not something you would really want to or need to be concerned with while you're at Ohio State. The takeaway here is that once you get into your academic area of interest, especially within the majors that we'll talk about today, things get very small very quickly, and the colleges and departments are quite intimate for students. As we go through information today, please just keep in mind, always refer to the Ohio State website with questions. There are resources and staff that you can reach out to if you do have specific questions. But the website is always the most up-to-date information. When it comes to deciding on a major and exploring the programs available at Ohio State, the website is a great go-to. You can see the website link there. Here's just a short video of some other major opportunities and the vast breadth of opportunities available. So again, the website is a great resource if you're trying to identify your areas of interest and the majors that might help to satisfy those. When it comes to being a student at Ohio State, we want you to succeed, and there are many resources when it comes to helping you do so. Your first go-to would be your academic advisor. You are assigned an academic advisor based on your academic major. So if you're a history major, you'll have a history advisor. You meet with your advisor and they help you schedule your classes during your orientation. That happens prior to your enrollment. They're a great go-to when it comes to asking those questions. What should I major in? They can also help you identify possible career next steps, and just a go-to resource for just any general questions. But they're going to help you satisfy all your academic requirements. When it comes to graduation, at minimum, students are looking to accumulate 121 semester hours. About a third of those semester hours come from our general education curriculum. These are courses that all students would take in various subjects and really are there to help students become just well-rounded. When you are entering Ohio State, if you have AP credit that you're bringing in, or if you've done post-secondary or college coursework, most of the time, these courses will come in and take the place of your general education requirements. So you may come in with some of your requirements already completed. In addition to your advisors, there are lots of other departmental services available when it comes to tutoring, our Young Fin Success Center, the Writing Center, and our Counseling and Consultation Services Office. Today, we are going to be again talking about the College of Arts and Sciences, but specifically the humanities portion of the Arts and Humanities Division. That being said, it is quite diverse when it comes to opportunities and areas of study within the humanities. You can see over 40 majors available, and even more minors are available. In order to go through these majors today, we are going to break them down into three categories. We have liberal arts category, our language, literatures, and cultures, and interdisciplinary studies. Just keep in mind, all the majors we'll talk about are quite flexible. They're very integrated, and you can combine your own unique combination of majors and minors. And that's really encouraged for students not to limit themselves to one specific area of study, but to add majors and minors so you're satisfying all of your areas of interest. The first category of coursework we'll talk about again are liberal arts. You can see the majors that fall into these areas. This is a great place to start if you are trying to identify really what you want to major in or where your interests fall. These are real general and popular majors within the umbrella that is the humanities. We'll go through all these majors today just real briefly, but again, please refer to the website when it comes to specific information. Another thing that you'll notice as we go through these majors, at the bottom of the screen, you'll see sample courses. These are courses that generally fall into that general education category, so students can go ahead and take these courses as early as their first semester at Ohio State. Classics, Greek and Latin, is a great place to start for anyone who might have an interest in history, language, or the area of the world that is ancient Greece and Rome and that time period. You can see there are a couple different concentrations that you would select from, and these concentrations really are there to help you narrow your coursework selection so that you're taking the courses that interest you most. Philosophy is one of our oldest departments on campus and is all about the study, analysis, critique of philosophy from ancient times to today. It is quite integrated as well, and you can see that some of your courses are going to come from lots of different areas across campus and are much more broad than students sometimes anticipate. English and history are two of the larger majors that fall underneath the humanities umbrella. English is quite flexible when it comes to courses you're taking. There are concentrations that you select from. You can see those concentrations there. Literature, writing, rhetoric and literacy, creative writing, folklore, and English pre-education. A couple minors within the English department that are quite popular. Creative writing is a great combination for any student who enjoys writing or wants to practice writing but also has a creative side. Professional writing teaches students how writing happens in the real world, and actually as part of that minor there is an internship component that they help set up for students, and so you really do get great writing experience in the real world outside the classroom. History is also quite flexible. Students create a concentration around a geographical location or time period, or a sort of a theme. So religious history, history of religion, that might be an option. We have a very strong and leading military history faculty, and so that's a lot of coursework offered in history, and specifically military history, that you won't find outside of Ohio State. History of art is a great crossover for anyone who has a humanities interest and passion, specifically history, but also has an artsy side. And so you're studying not only visual art, but all the aspects of the art. So film, photography, performing art, etc. Linguistics is great for anyone who has an interest in language. It's the study of language, how languages evolve, how they're passed down, how they vary across around the world, or even just around the regions within the United States. So anyone who isn't looking at language should definitely be taking and thinking about some linguistics coursework. So that's our first category of majors, liberal art majors. Next category would be language, literatures, and cultures. There are 14 different language majors offered at Ohio State, over 20 language minors, and then there is instruction in even more languages that we do not yet have a major or minor for. Anytime you're thinking about a language, it's going to be a combination of the spoken and written language, but also cultural components within the languages and where they are spoken around the world. We definitely encourage students to pursue education abroad, especially if you're wanting to learn and study language. You can see all of the language majors listed here as well. One thing to keep in mind is that the majority of majors at Ohio State have a language component that is part of the general education requirements. So that is a 3-course sequence of the same language. You actually would take a language placement test prior to enrolling at Ohio State. So that placement test would help us identify where you should start in language coursework if you were to continue within that language. Our final category of majors are interdisciplinary studies majors. There's quite a long list. And again, I encourage you to visit the websites of these departments if you're interested in learning more. But what they are narrowly focused majors that are combinations of really all the majors that we have already gone through today. So you could pick and choose any of those and identify different themes that would fall within those departments, but be focused on a very, very narrow and specific topic. Every major at Ohio State has a minor and then some. And so again, we encourage students to really think about all of their interests and create their own unique academic experience. So whether that be double majoring or major in a couple minors, your advisor is a great resource when it comes to not only identifying your areas of interest, but also making sure that you are satisfying the requirements as quickly as possible so they can help you fit all of your requirements into your schedule. At minimum, a minor is going to be 12 semester hours. That's 4 courses. A good example of this is history. History minor is a 4-course minor, and actually one of those courses is able to also count towards your general education requirements. So I really, the first time you meet with your advisor, just let them know all your areas of interest and what you're thinking when it comes to the combination of majors and minors. Again, we encourage students to pursue education abroad regardless of their major. Many of the departments have their own sponsored trips that are focused on more on maybe a student's academic major, but our Office of International Affairs is the best go-to when it comes to taking a look at all of the education abroad programs available and identifying which program might work best for you. Education abroad is quite diverse when it comes to types of programs, whether that be a very a shorter term study abroad, sort of like the World War II focused program you see there. Students will take courses that focus on World War II, and then typically during the month of May or for a couple weeks after the semester is complete, you'll study abroad and see what you've been learning about. There's the traditional semester-long study abroad program. We also have some summer programs, and then even full academic year programs. So there really is something for everyone. Office of International Affairs, again, is the best go-to. They also have funding options and scholarship options available, as does the College of Arts and Sciences. So really definitely check out the website to identify all of those funding opportunities. Honors and Scholars is a great way for students to not only pursue their academic interests, but also make the university a little bit smaller. They're 2 separate programs sponsored by our Honors and Scholars Center. Honors is very curricular based. It's really inside the classroom, and when you think honors, that's really sort of the experience that you are expecting. So you're taking challenging coursework, you're working very closely with faculty, you are more than likely doing research at some point while you're before graduation. And if you're an honors student, you're really looking for that in the classroom experience. There is a learning component, a living component, so you are able to live your first year with other honors students in an honors residence hall. And outside of that, there's some community building aspect that happens outside of class. Scholars is a totally separate program. It's very outside the classroom focused and cohort focused. So as a scholar student, you're part of a like-minded community that you are working outside the classroom to explore the specific scholar's theme. So the 17 scholars programs are listed here. Again, they are not major specific, so you may choose to be in a program that aligns with your major, but you're also able to explore a theme outside of what you are majoring in. The Scholars program does have a living component, and students live together their first year in order to build that cohort. When it comes to applying to either the honors or scholars programs, students can enter directly as an honors student. However, you can also, once you get to Ohio State, apply to become an honors student. So there are multiple areas of entry. Scholars, the only entry point for that program is initially as an incoming first year student. So you really do need to go ahead and enter at the beginning of your Ohio State experience if you're looking at a scholars program. When it comes to dates and deadlines, those are always subject to change, and you should refer to the Ohio State website and major and college websites for deadlines. Typically, our early action deadline is November 1st, so I always recommend applying to the university as early as you're able. Applications usually become available in the fall, around the month of August. So filling out your application early is the best way to make yourself available for all the scholarships, but also all the academic programs, including honors and scholars. So in summary, again, I refer to you to the Ohio State website for specific questions. However, I'm always available. If you'd like to reach out and email me, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. Again, thanks for joining us on this academic overview, and best of luck with your college search. Go Bucks!